extract a normal 8, not impaction, 8 extraction using a elevator. So imagine this is 8, this is 7, this is the ramus. Okay. So this is the 8. Okay. So first thing we have to, what is the first step? After anesthesia we have to elevate the gum, both buccally, lingually and distally. Elevating the gum distolingually it will be a little challenging, okay, but we have to elevate properly. So first thing is elevation of the gum, we all know. The second point is using the same periosteal elevator, put it here in the interproximal region and just create some space. Don't try to remove it. Don't try to give force to it. Our aim is to not to luxate it. Our aim is to create some space here so that you can insert another elevator which is bigger. Okay, if you use a straight elevator or Copeland straight away, it is difficult to insert. So use a regular periosteal elevator, sharp end. So second is creating space, okay, interproximally, because this is the area we are going to keep our elevators, whatever it is, straight or Copeland. Then third point is using straight elevator or Copeland elevator or angle periotome. Okay, periotome elevator, Copeland spade elevator. Okay, spade elevator will be like this. Okay, straight elevator will be like this. Okay, Copeland elevator will be like this, with a depression, Okay, depression. Okay, so we will discuss how to use the elevators for 8. Okay, so this is the straight elevator. Okay, this is the handle, this is the shank, then finally blade, right? This is the blade, right? So the important part is the blade, right? So we will discuss the blade part. So the blade has got two borders, okay, and two surfaces, and it has got one tip. So these are the parts of the blade. Okay, so understanding this is very essential to use the straight elevator or Copeland or spade, whatever it is. So we will discuss what is this. Okay, so this is the straight elevator, and you will see small serrations here, right? Okay, so this part is the tip. Okay, this is the upper border, this is the lower border. So knowing this is essential, upper border or lower border. Sometimes we use the lower border to remove the tooth, sometimes we use the upper border to remove the tooth. The key is the upper border. If you know how to use the upper border to elevate the 8, then you have mastered the elevator. Okay. So there are two borders, one is upper, lower and tip, and another is the surfaces. I am doing a cross section here. Okay, it is a kind of half circle cross section, the straight elevator. Okay, if it is a Copeland, it will be like this. Right. So this is a cross sectional diagram. Is any doubt in this diagram? Okay, so obviously this is the upper border. Okay, this is the lower border. Okay. So this surface should always be face the 8. This is 8. So this surface should always face the 8. If it is a Copeland, this depressed surface, okay, this concave. This concave surface should face the 8. If this, so it has got two surfaces. One is the flat surface and another one is the rounded surface. If it is a couplant, this is the concave, this is convex. Imagine if this surface is touching the 8, you cannot remove it, you cannot engage it, because this is a fully rounded surface. It cannot engage, it cannot push the 8 out. So only this surface should. So this is the main rule in using the straight elevator. So the flat surface should be facing the 8. So coming to the tip, how should be the tip? If the tip is too sharp, you can insert it easily, but it is difficult to use the elevator to remove the 8, and the tip may become blunt easily, it may bend. Okay. If the tip is rounded, you have got some surface here to engage the 8, but it may be difficult to insert deeper. Okay. If this is 8, if this is 7, our elevator should go only till here, or at least till here. If the tip is very sharp, it will go till here. This is lingual. Okay, this is buccal. If the tip is very broad, it won't go till here. Only if it reaches the interproximal region, you can give some force to the distal 8. If the elevator is only here, in the beginning stage, many doctors will do this mistake. They won't go deeper. They will keep the elevator and they will keep on pushing it. Okay. And another mistake is using the elevator too lingually and trying to give the pressure. Okay. So it should reach at least interproximal, but not beyond this lingual bond. Then only the mechanics will be proper. So the tip should not be so sharp, it should not be so rounded. There should be some like this. So it is not too rounded, it is not too sharp. So it should be ideal. It is the ideal one. Okay. Can you see? The tip is too rounded. Okay, the tip is too broad. It is difficult to insert beyond the interproximal space. Okay. See this elevator, this is more broader. You can never use this. If you are using this to remove it, then you cannot remove it. If you know the elevator well, you won't use this elevator, because this is too broad, the tip is too broad. This is somewhat okay, but still this is too sharp. If it is too sharp and too thin, you cannot give enough forces. It will easily go beyond your lingual border. It will poke the tongue. Okay. So this is also not ideal. Okay. For creating space, it may be good to create space and for the next elevator to fit. So if you see some straight elevator, they got serrations here to engage the 8. So the key is this edge. This should be sharp. This should be sharp. Then only it will engage the 8 properly. By usage, if it becomes blunt, it won't engage. You will keep on moving, the elevator will slip, the tooth won't get engaged. So it is our duty to check whether this is sharp. This is sharp. Now I will tell you how to use the elevator. Okay. There are three techniques you can use. One is using pure distal force. Pure distal. Just push this distally, that's it. But it is only 5 to 10% important. Initial movement, just 1 or 2 movement you can do, just distal force. This is just to disturb the periodontal ligament, just to loosen the periodontal ligament. After that, don't use this force. The more you use this force, the more the risk of tooth fracture or mandible fracture. So this is the least favorable indicated movement, but this is the movement many doctors will use. They will put the elevator and they will just push purely distal, pure distal. But here the bone is there, no? It will hit. So there is bone, right? If you give a pure distal force, it won't come out easily. Our aim is to create a distal and upward movement. Distal and upward movement. Then now pulling like this. So, but first movement will be slight distal movement to loosen the periodontal ligament. The second movement is now the important movement comes, to use the upper border. But what is the mistake we will be doing is we will be using the lower border. Just rotating it. If you rotate the elevator, this will touch the 7, this will touch the 8, right? If you rotate like this, like a screwdriver, this surface will go towards the 7, this surface will touch the 8. This is also not very favorable. Okay, that is using the lower border. So the key movement which is essential for success is using the upper border. So if you are using the upper border, this border should rest on this interdental bone. Okay, you have to give this movement. This is the trick. Using the upper border to engage the 8 and engaging the lower border into the interdental bone or little bit into the 7. So your hand will go down so that the elevator will go up, the upper border will engage them. So these are the three kind of movements. Okay. So this is 80% important. This is 5 to 10% important. Some tooth will come with this easily. If some tooth they are not coming with this three movements easily, then immediately switch over to the cow horn. Immediately it will come. So you should know how to mix these two techniques. One is by elevator and another one is by forceps.